Hey there, Sunshine Friends. Thank you for joining us again for Life in Hiatus. It's what we do when we're not podcasting and audio dramaing. Guess what? Today we have a special guest. Can you guess who it is? I bet you can't.
So hey everybody, we are here with Matt Dunford.
What, that jerk again? How dare he show his hobo face again? It looks like, well, he is looking a little cavemanish these days, but, or it might be that messiah complex about him, but he's always got that. Now he's just got to look to match.
Very nice. I like the new look. It's sassy.
Oh, thanks.
So how far are you from hobo to crazy old prospector?
How about the crazy old prospector? The whole thing is I have to have prospects in order to have that.
You do have one prospect though, and that is San Diego Comic Fest. Tell us a little bit about that action.
Ah, yes, San Diego Comic Fest. Remember back in the day when we could have lovely little events, comic conventions, if you will. I believe there was one 2 years ago, back in early March, and then we had one. It was really cool. And then a couple days later, the world kind of shut down.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so we were kind of the last final comic convention to get off the ground before the quarantine order hit. And then we had to do, like, digital conventions and online stuff. I wasn't really feeling that, but now we're coming back for an in-person event, April 21st through the 24th, and we are going to be celebrating the centennial of Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry.
Nice.
And we've got a wonderful special guest lined up, because, Bill Sienkiewicz was a tough act to follow. But considering the theme of Roddenberry and, of course, comics, this is a creator who has definitely showcased his work across just about every single creative field, whether it's novels, it's comics, it's radio dramas, video games. He has done it all. And I think he's probably the most consistently good voice of comics over the past 35 years. Please welcome our special guest at our guest of honor at Comic Fest, Peter David.
Peter David, wow.
Yes, and of course, if you're not familiar with the name, let me remind you of some of the projects that he has done over the years. He had a run on The Incredible Hulk, which is considered the greatest ever. He gave us Hulk stories like Maestro and Hulk's multiple personality complex, which led to Mr. Fix-It. He also created Spider-Man 2099 alongside Rick Leonardi and other cool stuff he did. He had this wonderful Aquaman story where Aquaman started looking a little more like me with the beard, with the long hair, and he gave him the hook too. Any Nick Jr., or wait, no, it was Snick at this point. Snick kids out there. Space Cases, basically which was Star Trek for kids. He also did the Star Trek New Frontier novel series for books. So for the Trek fans out there, and I know we're going to have plenty of Trek fans. Other highlights we're looking forward to this Comic Fest. I do have a very prolific, wonderful, it's hard for me to contain my inner fanboy on this one, a wonderful, prolific animation guest, Mr. Tom Ruger, who fans out there might know is lead writer for a pup named Scooby-Doo. He created Tiny Toon Adventures, Animaniacs, Freakazoid, Hysteria, and collaborated quite a bit with Steven Spielberg during the 1990s, but I am a very big Freakazoid fan and a very big Animaniacs fan, so I am just absolutely ecstatic to have him at the show, because that was just my youth right there.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
If we have any horror fans out there, which I imagine would be from the Wave and all that, Mr. Ben Templesmith, who you might know from 30 Days of Night, from Fell, from 10 Grand, from Dead Space, is attending the show, and I'm really happy to have him on board. He's a wonderful writer, even better artist, and I am absolutely, completely thrilled to have him come to the show. Coming out as our dealer guest of honor, Mr. Ralph Matthew, who runs Alternate Reality Comics, which is a great store out in Vegas. I definitely recommend going out there and come to the show and meet him. So you can see about his 30 years in the comic industry of selling books as well. So also Mr. Chris Ryle, who you might know from from IDW Publishing, who's off at Image with a new imprint called Syzygy. I think that's how it's pronounced. So he's working on some new comics out there with Joe Hill, who you might know from the Lock and Key series. And he's working on this new book called Rain, which is the first of it. I read the first issue the other day, and I don't know what I was expecting, but I was not expecting that, but I am excited for issue 2 now,
yeah.
so really looking forward to that. And Marv Wolfman from Teen Titans and Crisis on Infinite Earth, Tomb of Dracula. He created Blade the Vampire Hunter. He created Black Cat. He's coming back to the show, so I'm really excited to have Marv on the show because he is just a legend of comics. Mr. Jonathan Mayberry, so if you know from V-Wars, if you know from the Rotten Rune series, the Joe Ledger thriller novels, he is coming back to the show. Wonderful, great guy with a brilliant selection of Hawaiian shirts, so keep on the lookout for him. Mr. Jim Kruger, who actually is the Eisner Award-winning writer of Justice, and from Earth X, which is very much what the basis for the Eternals film was set on. Also, other great guys like Scott Shaw, who you might know from Captain Carrot, the Fruity Pebbles commercials. Sonic the Hedgehog is coming back to the show. He's always a mainstay. It's always great to have Scott around on the show. And we've also got Mr. Buzz Dixon. Do we have any Transformers fans out there? G.I. Joe fans? Strawberry Shortcake. He pretty much wrote every single 80s cartoon out there that was an action figure commercial disguised as a cartoon.
Yep.
Always happy to have him out. And Disney legend Mr. Willie Ito, who has been working for Disney since way back when. He animated the Lady and the Tramp spaghetti scene. He is coming out to the show, so I'm always happy to have this on.
So this is an exciting lineup that you've got.
Yes, and the whole thing is it's getting back in the feel of things, and we want everyone to know that we are going to be providing a comfortable environment with things, because it's been a rocky path getting back into the world of conventions. But, with Comic-Con Special Edition that happened a couple months ago, I was actually very impressed with their display and how well they pulled that off. And so, everyone was masked up, everyone showed their vaccine cards, we were all safe, and for that many people to show up to an event and no COVID outbreaks whatsoever, gives me faith that we can do this again, and that we can help the world heal, and that we can, get to a better place, and that we can enjoy each other's company again, because we miss you. And I miss you guys too. I'll see you at San Diego Comic Fest, April 21st through the 24th, celebrating the centennial of Gene Roddenberry with guest of honor, Peter David. Check us out at www.sdcomicfest.org. You can always find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. And we've got a TikTok now. And I did not expect to be a TikTok star now, but my videos are getting hundreds of thousands of views now for weird comic facts, and I'm on there talking about comic facts every day until we're bigger than Comic-Con. It'll happen one day.
Yeah. Very cool. I'm really excited. So really looking forward to it. Okay, Matt, thank you for joining us.
And thank you for having me.
All right.
Wow, a super special thanks to Matt Dunford. Thank you for meeting and doing this interview with us. It was amazing. And also, our Patreons like Jan Neff Sinclair and Neil. I like Neil, and so should you, because he's Neil. And Nikki Benfield, who's not Neil, but also I like him. And the Grammarica Show, because who could resist? Nobody. That's who. They're the Grammarica Show. They're our Patreons, and you can be one too. Patreon.com/lucidnap. And thank you for following our progress, or for hate watching us, because my goodness, I couldn't give a rat's patootie, because a view, my friends, is a view. Yes, and we're all about the numbers here, because we're trying to build a channel up so it's mighty and strong, so that when we come back with the creeping wave, and you can check our progress on thelucidnap.com, then we have something to share. But you know what? Go off and do something else. Go have fun. Get outside. Be happy. Enjoy your life. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Life in Hiatus is brought to you by Lucid Nap Productions in cooperation with a hairy old man. Boy, is he hairy.